All right, everybody, here we are at Brinkley, and we're going to talk with Nate here in a little bit. But right now we're sitting in the 3950. This is the brand new floor plan toy hauler G-Series that Brinkley has put out. And Nate, he's kind of like the godfather. He's the man who designs all of the G-Series. He's the guy behind it. So when you see him, give him all the praise, because all the innovative ideas that you see on these Brinkleys comes from this guy and a team of people.
Great team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
awesome team.
Yeah, but he's leading all of that. He's the G-man, and Mike, I believe, is the Z guy.
Mike is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So many of you have seen all the YouTubers, such as myself, talk about all the beautiful design of the Brinkleys, as well as all the innovative ideas that they've incorporated that has really set these this brand, this model, apart from everything out there. And what we're going to talk about today is not all of that beautiful stuff, because everybody talks about it, but we're going to talk about all the things you don't see. For example, how it's built, how the construction, the suspension, the frame, and all that kind of stuff. And let's kind of dive into the frame and tell me a little bit why this frame is so robust and well designed, and really designed well for each individual unit that you guys build. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'll start a little bit with just the philosophy behind it. Like, you know, we don't want to build just your regular RVs. I mean, we're really trying to build a product that's going to last. And, you know, I think sometimes in this industry, the units are almost disposable, you know, and after a few years, customers feel like they have so many issues that they have to get something else.
Right.
And, we want to be more like
me.
We want to be more like an iPhone. You know, you could use it for 10 years if you want,
yeah.
And you end up getting the new one because it's cool and you like it and it has new features.
Yeah.
And we want it to be like that.
Yeah.
And you know, to do that, you can't just take things off the shelf, you know, that are industry standard.
Correct.
And you know, I think LCI gets a bad reputation sometimes because they will build what the OEM asks for.
Right.
And they will build it for the price point that they want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, at the end of the day, they're a subcontractor for us.
Right.
And if you want a cheap, off-the-shelf chassis, you know, down and dirty, they'll build it for you.
Yeah.
You know, and but at the end of the day, you know, it's not their name on the side of the unit. It's the OEMs, right?
Correct.
You know, and so for us, we didn't call them and say, hey, we want to build a 40-foot toy hauler, and we want the slides here and the axles here, and you know, they grab it off the shelf and they say, here you go, guys, go build your toy hauler. Ours was a lot more collaborative, and you know, building tens of thousands of units in the past, we know the warranty problems that plague the industry. We know the upper deck problems that people have. We know what the field fixes are, and you know, so we address that stuff up front, just like we have in a lot of other areas. Mm-hmm. You know, we've taken the top 20-ish warranty items that we dealt with in the past, and we found a way to engineer them out, design them out, use different material, change our processes, and it's no different with the chassis. And you know, I think there was some confusion when we first launched because we were using the Gen Y product, and you know, historically Lippert says, you know, no, you know, that's going to void your chassis warranty. And for a little bit there, you know, that was true, but I want people to know Lippert doesn't dictate to us what we're going to take care of.
Right.
And you know, we're going to take care of our customers no matter what.
Yeah.
And if we have a fight on the back end with them on who's paying for what, our customer's never even going to know about that. You know?
And that's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. And you know,
usually the customer's caught in the middle of that fight, and that's the problem.
Exactly. In limited leverage, and you know, we're the customer. We chose the chassis. It shouldn't be our consumer's responsibility to fight that fight.
Right.
And you know, so what I kept telling people about the Gen Y is, look, I mean, that's our problem. We're going to stand behind you no matter what. Now, in the last year, we have done more testing and validation than I've ever done in my career on not only the chassis, but suspension, the combination of the Gen Y. And what our testing data has shown is the Gen Y is actually better for the chassis.
I believe
it's
it.
a smoother ride. It doesn't beat the crap out of the unit like normal pin boxes do.
Yep.
You know, we did every SAE test under the sun for durability. We did durability track testing to the point of failure, which, you know, I think everybody says they go the track, right? Well,
right.
you can go the track and you can make it through 100,000 miles, but that's not really the goal. Like the goal is to overload the unit and test it to a point where it breaks, and then you can decide, okay, would this happen in normal use, or is this something we need to address? Yeah, exactly. And that's what we do. I mean, we break the units. We have wall failures. We have chassis failures. We break axles. I mean, that's what you want to see at the track.
Right. Exactly.
You know? And I can say, like, our upper deck, it's probably 50-ish% stronger than anything else on the market.
I would agree, and it's patent pending, right?
A lot of it is patent pending.
Yeah.
You know, some of the items, frankly, were collaborative with Lippert and some changes that they wanted to see. Some of the stuff we implemented were field fixes we would see. So if somebody had upper deck deflection and you know, LCI would go out to do a repair, they would do, you know, this, and this.
Right.
We did it. We just did it from the start.
Yeah.
You know, let's not wait
Just
until
avoid
something
it.
happens. We'll just spend the money up front and let's not have the problem.
Right.
And that's ultimately that's the goal.
Right.
Like, you know, we don't want customers to have to deal with the experience of going through, as you know, having major chassis issues because it's really hard to fix after the fact.
It is, and as all of you know who watch my channel, I've been out a year because of this. I haven't been able to travel. I've been kind of stranded, and you don't buy a rig to be stranded somewhere. You buy a rig to go explore.
Exactly.
And I can say, in going through the tour up in Elkhart at Brinkley, you guys, when you get up there, you got to do it. You'll be blown away how different they do things than everybody else. And from the moment you first walk out on that floor, you see a huge difference in the quality control, a huge difference in how they assemble, and a huge difference in how they have the, I want to say, not a conveyor, but assembly line process. They make it not only more efficient and more quality, but they make it beautiful for your employees.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys really put in all the tools that are necessary to make the job easy to assemble for all the employees.
It's I mean, you just said a mouthful right there. I mean, you know, honestly, that's what it's all about. You know, we're a people first company, and we put our money where our mouth is. I mean, we spend an extraordinary amount of money to make sure our people are in a position to do a great job. And you know, part of that is, you know, not being in a hurry. Part of it is having the tools you need to do a great job. You know, there's a lot of different aspects, but you know, we hear time and time again, you know, this is the best company I've ever worked for.
Yeah.
You know, my wife says I come home happier. You know, our air quality is better, so they're not, you know, coming home stuffed up and tired. And you know, for us, we want to get the best people possible so we can build the best product possible. And that's it's where our heart is. You know, we want them to have a good family life. We want them to say, working at Brinkley has changed my life in a positive way. And you know, it's interesting, a lot of the leadership stuff we do internally is not even business focused. It's communication, it's things that they could use at home with their kids, with their spouse. And
that's awesome.
And we know, coming full circle, you know, if we can improve their home life, they're gonna love working for us. They're going to be happier coming in the morning. And, you know, our number one core value is attitude is everything. And, you know, so if we can focus there to improve their lives, they're going to build better units.
And it shows when you walk in there. Guys, you'll see this when you get there, but before they laid the first foundation, poured the concrete out there, you can tell the people that are there, how happy they are, how awesome the facility is, the environment that's there. You'll experience that. You can hear me talk about it all day, Nate talk about it all day. You got to experience it to really get it. And talk to the Brinkley people when you meet them. They'll tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, full circle, coming back to the quality. We talked a little bit about the frame today. Suspension. Tell me a little bit about what you guys did with the suspension to really make this robust. And I'm just amazed at what you put on here as included or standard equipment.
Yeah. So we, we run leaf spring axles. We run Dexter product. We run kind of their top of the line. So, kind of like the chassis, you can have off the shelf Dexter axles, or you can get, bronze bushings. You can get upgraded springs. You can get upgraded axle tube. You can get upgraded hardware. You can get, there's all kinds of options. And what we do is get them all.
Right.
We get the best running gear we can. But it's still a leaf spring, right?
Yep.
And it's virtually the same leaf spring that we've run for 20 years. And we wanted to take a step in the right direction as far as towing, durability, and protecting the unit. So we added sumo springs, which we've tested out now, and you can actually add sumos aftermarket.
Sure.
They had a big enough impact in our testing that we decided to put them on standard.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I've towed thousands of miles with our product now, and you can feel a difference. You can feel a difference in how the unit tracks with the truck. You can feel a difference on how the unit corners. Mm-hmm. I can tell you from putting cameras on the inside and having my little 16-year-old daughter even film some, it doesn't bounce as much.
Yeah.
People have heard me tell this story, but we've had drinks sitting on the top shelf of the fridge that have made it halfway across the country and haven't moved.
Yeah,
and
that's
how
awesome.
do you do that on
That's
some
awesome.
of these roads? So really though, it kind of plays well within like the Gen Y product and the benefits of that. And it's about kind of protecting the unit and then isolating the unit moving from the truck.
Right.
And really we want these things to last. We want the cabinets to hold up. And so we're trying to spend money on the front end to not only have the unit tow better, to give our consumer a better experience, but in 10 years when they're still camping in this thing, that it's in good shape.
Absolutely, and that's the goal. And that's proven out based off of everything we've seen and all the improvements you've designed into it and how you've designed all the problems out of it, and that shows. So
yeah, I wouldn't say all the problems. Like this is still a house on wheels.
Yeah.
It's like repetitive custom home construction. We still build them by hand. Our guys make mistakes. Our suppliers make mistakes sometimes. And the one thing that you don't have in a home is your home doesn't get shaken every time you move it.
Right.
And if you would look at like some of the accelerometer data to see what the unit actually goes through on the road, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, it's a rolling earthquake.
It is.
What I say, yeah.
So things will happen, but we have engineered out everything we could possibly think of. We've changed processes, and it's an evolution.
Yeah.
As we see claims, as we make mistakes, we come in every day and change the product to make it better.
Yeah.
And sometimes customers get frustrated with us because they're like, man, you guys are always changing things. But, if we have an opportunity to build a better unit for you tomorrow, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And, so it's kind of a different way of doing business. And we're betting on the come a little bit because we spent an incredible amount of money on the bill of material side. That we haven't picked up yet in lower warranty cost, but we truly believe in our gut that in time it will pan out.
Yep.
And it's hard to put a price on customer frustration and experience, but if we can avoid our customers going through that, that's pretty priceless.
Yeah.
So
totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. You heard it first from Nate, the guy who's the master, as I said, the grandfather behind the Jew series that you see here from Brinkley. Can't tell you enough how wonderful this product is, how wonderful this company is, and I highly recommend, if you're considering an RV, take a look at Brinkley. I think you're going to be very, very impressed, and your decision will be made for you just walking through the rig. Thanks, Nate. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah.
All right, and that's a wrap.